and there's absolutely no reason why you cannot be a doctor in Bengali. I mean, Bengali is a huge language. There are millions and millions of people who speak Bengali, and or, if you can do it in Japanese, which literally has a script with 2,000 characters, and the Indian languages are super scientific. In fact, there's a lot of similarity between the Latin that is used in medicine versus the Sanskrit. And so to create a vocabulary, in fact, the vocabulary also exists. People have already done that effort. So to say, somebody who's going to be from a village in Bengal, they can study in Bengali, they can become a doctor, and they can go serve their village. There's no problem at all. But because we want to create this elite system, we want to say, no, there's no entry into this club till you become anglicized. That's why we keep on imposing English into that.
You can become a doctor learning Bengali and serve a village in Bengal, but you can't get into a corporate hospital, right?
No, but you cannot even study, you cannot even become a doctor studying Bengali because there is no medical education in Bengali. Right. So even what I'm saying is, even if you wanted to serve your own village and become a doctor studying in Bengali, you're going to talk to the patients in Bengali, right? But you cannot study medicine in Bengali because it doesn't exist. You have to go into the English system, and then you have to go back to the village, and then you don't even want to go back to the village because you've been anglicized in your mind.
True. Wow. Oh my God, so many things to, I mean, like I said, this whole movement for decolonization, I think
many things to unpack. And there's one other point I'll mention here, because a lot of times when I start speaking of language, people assume I'm advocating for Hindi, but I'm not. I'm actually advocating for mother tongue education. And mother tongue education has been recognized scientifically as the best way for a child to learn. So there is no dispute in the scientific community that this is actually the scientific way, right? A lot of times when I speak about this, people say, no, you want to take us back. You want to take us, you want to make us primitive or something, which is, again, all these notions that one has in our head, when the truth of the matter is every country that's actually making progress are those that are using their own language, right? So, and the Indian states, the size of them is so big that every state is equivalent to a country in Europe or more in terms of the population.
Yes.
So there is no problem that we could use 22 languages to teach our children. There's absolutely no problem with that.
Well, I do hope that with the new, what do you think of this new, of course, not new anymore, but the current dispensation and the changes in the education policy? Do you think that there is some scope for, introducing what you just said, making at least some part of our education compulsory in a mother tongue, or making it not making English such an elitist, yeah.
Well, the good news is that the new education policy does talk about mother tongue education, and it does talk about encouraging mother tongue education, and it does talk about having higher education in the mother tongue. So let me start with the good news, which is that now we have AICTE, which is the engineering top body, which for the first time has now allowed that engineering can be taught in Indian languages. It was not even allowed legally.
My God, that's a big win.
Yeah, that's a big win. So they have allowed it, and not only that, they're actually putting some effort in terms of bringing textbooks and so on and so forth. So I had been, doing a lot of advocacy, met the chief, I had met, really everybody that I could possibly meet in the political spectrum. So for many years, I wrote this book in 2014, and for many years it felt like I was just banging my head against the wall. Nothing was happening, nothing was moving. And it's also, a good lesson in patience. But I see over the last 3-4 years, some movement has started to happen, which is very gratifying. But the NEP does talk about it, but it doesn't go far enough. It doesn't really talk about saying, well, we must have education in the mother tongue, or it's a requirement, or it will make sure that every institute is obligated to offer education in the mother tongue. It doesn't make any requirement. So it's too loosey-goosey. It's very easy to just continue on the current system. So there is no hard and fast intervention. And when the ship has been sailing in one direction for so long, you really need a very strong person or the very strong movement of the steering wheel, so that you can actually turn it around. movement of the wheel. So I think that's what's missing. But at least they have started to talk about it, and they've even started to talk about it politically. Modi ji, in some speeches in Bihar, for instance, said we're going to bring engineering in Hindi, we're going to bring medicine in Hindi. So I think those are the right steps, but much more work has to be done. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.